Aiden's the actor played Littlefinger. Look on his face when he knows Arya's going to strike the blow was beautiful. So obviously we've been waiting a long time for the Starks to finally come back together. It's really the first moment they're together as a team. What was like directing that the final battle between the Starks and Littlefinger?
It was great. I think because, also there's a big twist in the scene because we think it's going to be Arya who's going to get it from Sansa, and it ends up being Littlefinger. And it just shows like that blood is everything, right? Like the sisters figured it out, and they figured out that, who the real enemy was, and it wasn't each other. And there's kind of like a great sort of justice in that, and there's a great kind of narrative closure in the whole thing too. And so I think the actresses just had such a great time with that scene, and we're so happy to be able to play that note because they've been kind of at each other for a long time. And also those two were best friends, our best friends, for forever. They grew up together. And so that was, a lovely thing. And I think, anytime on the show where one of the main characters gets killed, it's a big deal. And I think for Littlefinger to go, and we knew, everybody knowing this is going to be his last scene, and it was his last scene that we shot. We didn't shoot anything after this with him. There's always a big celebration when somebody dies. Not celebration, but it's like you're honoring that person. So I would say it's like, I think every actor is very sad when they get the script and it's like, oh shit, it's me now. And so, for Aiden, it was like, I guess your time's up. And, but he had such a great scene. Like, I think that scene really mitigated the fact that he wasn't going to be on the show anymore because he really went out in style, with a fantastic scene. And I think Aiden just played that scene so beautifully and really got the most you could get out of a scene like that. Like this character who's so loathsome in so many ways, you really feel sorry for him. You just see he's trapped, there's no way out. He's like this trapped rat, and it's still like he makes you feel sorry for him, which is kind of amazing. And I think his last moments when he's like on the ground there and he has this like gasp and his voice catches, and I think, and it was a very deliberate thing, I think, from the writers that he gets his throat cut because he's such this silver-tongued character. He persuaded all these people with his words, and in the end, his throat's cut and he can't speak anymore to defend himself. And that's a kind of poetic justice for that character. So, what was your question exactly?
Oh, just like how did you stage it with Arya and Sansa? You had the great Brandon, and who's not been used a lot in these kind of dramatic situations.
Right. Well, the staging was like it's like a tribunal basically. It's like you've got like the siblings are there, and then Arya is the sibling who's on the outs, but then you see what happens like later as Littlefinger sort of the noose is tightening on him. Arya gets closer to her siblings, and then it's really them against him. It's no longer the siblings against sister and him on the outside. Now it's all the siblings together against him. And that is in the way it's choreographed and the way it's blocked, that's kind of what happens.
It's amazing because it's really the first time Littlefinger's ever had a flashlight shined on him. He's always in the shadows. How fun is a director sometimes knocking a character, not only killing him up, but knocking a character out of the comfort zone and shooting in a different way that we've ever seen before?
It's great. And it's great because, it's also great for the actor to show a different color. Because Baelish Littlefinger was always like, he's a certain color. He always was slithering in and saying all these things, snake-like to people. And then suddenly he's like on the back foot. And it's, we present him differently, as a sort of a caged rat rather than, some kind of like snake-like figure. And, I think when he's got something different to play, it's like whenever an actor has something different to play, it's kind of a gift to the actor, I think. And so he really embraced that, and it was really fun I so enjoyed and appreciated Aiden in those 2 days it took to shoot the scene, because it was just like, he just really so rose to the occasion and really like fully fleshed that character out in a way that we hadn't seen before, and that was great.